Alright, we're Eugene's backyard repair here from Nella. We're going to be working on a Husqvarna 326 RJ carburetor issues. This needs a carb. This was not so fun. You got to take the entire housing off this thing just to change it, just to put a carb in it. It's not a fun one to disassemble and swap out carb, but needs to be done because this one will run, but doesn't run that well, I can tell you that. You can't put it on idle. Got a kit, carburetor, gasket, filter, primer, tank filter, which I've already changed, fuel lines. Got everything in this kit. Alright, first we're going to get the cover off here. Here, wait, we'll show you the air filter. I've already taken it out. That's what's left of it. It just deteriorated to nothing. So, supposedly one of these filters is the right one. I know, we got a Ziploc bag here you can't unzip. Alright. You got fuel lines. I don't know if I'm going to swap them out. The tank filter, spark plug, which is just a cheapie. I don't know what the heck these rubber plugs are for. Oh, for the tank. Whoa! Gave us the adjustment screwdriver for the carburetor. It's either good or bad. It's good if you need one, and bad because you shouldn't need one. Here's the carburetor. Don't have the caps on it like this one does, but anyway. Yeah, unfortunately you gotta take this whole housing off just to get to the carburetors under here. Big hassle, but it has to be done. So, of course, I don't see the bit in here. What happened to the bit? Did I leave it on the bench? Put it in the drawer. Alright, we're gonna pause you 1 second here. I can't find the bit unless it's sitting right here, and I don't see it sitting right here. Alright, I gotta look in the toolbox. Hang on. Alright, we found the bit. Some knucklehead didn't put it back in the toolbox. He put it in, well, he put it in the toolbox, but not in the holder. He just put it back in the drawer. Like I said, there's a lot of screws you gotta take out on this one. Got one here, one here. Yeah, they did not plan this one out well for working on this one. The cover's got a broken ear on this side, so that one screw won't come out. Got one over here. This weed whacker will run on this carburetor, it just won't idle, so. And so, it's got to be swapped out. We already tried cleaning, but this problem was the fuel pump diaphragm is. I got one somewhere on the bench here. Let me show you an example of this. This is a fuel pump diaphragm. This one's the same way. You hear it clicking. The other one's in this carburetor is the same way. It's hard as a rock. So there's that. So is it a fuel pump issue and not getting enough gas, or what makes it stutter? But anyway, one doesn't matter what the problem is. It still doesn't run right. One more way down here somewhere. Guess I can't see it. And this one I can't take the end off. Usually the shafts are split in two pieces. Not on this one. Alright, one more screw way down in here somewhere. That should just get me to the carburetor. Come on. That screw don't want to come out. Get this cover off the muffler. Oh, that's right, you gotta take the whole thing because this one's screwed on from the inside. Yeah, normally you take out this screw here, but this ear was busted off on the inside. Everything was busted on this one, so I tried to take it off in one piece. You can't get this cover off, this outside cover, because there's a screw right there. Good idea. Alright, now we're down to the carburetor half of this. Still got 2 more screws here, and now we get the front off of this. Of course, they're 3 miles long. I may or may not switch out lines here too. I'm not going to do that on camera. It's just boring. Shove the line to a grommet and put them, hook them back to the carburetor. But I changed lines on this already because they were rotted, but the lines I had were a little bit too small. Alright, there's them 2 screws. We got a primary line which comes across. This one's okay. Got a line that comes in and a line goes back to the tank. So, bring it over here so you can see. Get this as a primer line back in here. There's a supply line and next to it's a return line. So, gotta get them all out if I want to swap all the lines. But the screw should take the front off this. Or try to take the front off of this. Can't remember if it was all one piece. Try not to break anything here. And you can slip the carburetor out the side, but it seems to be, if I remember right, there's another bolt that holds this, but it comes in from the tank side. Yeah, it does. It's from underneath. Alright, so we're going to try just popping lines off. Come on. Okay, there's a line. We're getting the throttle linkage off here. Alright. Come on. Shouldn't be that hard. Can't get my finger underneath to push it up. Alright, so that's all. Should be able to pull this carburetor out. Here's the supply line. The grommets and everything look okay in the tank. There's just the lines were hard as a rock. There's a carburetor. That's all. Now let me see about these lines. See what they gave us. I don't mind when they give me the line, because if I don't use it, I'll save it and use it somewhere else. But I think this is the one I need. I think this one's a little bit bigger around. I might change the bolt out. These lines might be bigger around than the ones I put. Alright, we're going to pause you 1 second. I think I might pull off this primer line and pull this one out and see how that one fits. And if that one's tighter in the grommets, I might change them both. There. I can see them a little bit better. They're right down in there. It's hard to do it on the stand too. So yeah, I might pull them off and swap them out, just so that they fit in the grommets a little bit better. There's nothing worse than weed whacking that motor's behind you and gas come off the top of this and dripping on your back or on your pants. All right, I'll pause you here. I think I'll swap out them lines. All right, we got our lines all running in the tank. I'll put a filter back on. Oops. Let me cut this off square again. You cut them at an angle so you can get them started in the tank. Got to reinstall. This would go back farther in the tank, but seems to want to get stuck. Hang on. Can I get to go to the other side? I think I got it. So we'll flop over. Yeah, it went in. Alright, we're gonna get our new carb going here. I know I put the primer somewhere here. Here, Mr. Primer. I think I need to cut this one shorter. It's a little bit long. It's going way past where the primer is going to be. This should be fun to get back on. I think it goes this way. There's little notches up. It won't go on but one way. And that ain't it. I'll back you up a second here. You know, that's not right. Should be way down at the bottom. Got it. Yep, this should be a treat to get this back on. If this wasn't in the way, it wouldn't be bad, but like I said, this one's screwed to the bottom of the engine. I probably should have fished this through the hole. Oh, there we go. Wasn't bad. Except for this one, I don't think goes on this side. I think it goes on this side and then up. Alright, we got plenty here for the gas tank for the hookup. Looks like I got enough to go across this tank. It's hard to see, but I don't think I need all this. Because here's the carb, and this just goes down and hooks right here. And I don't think I can. Yeah, I can't hide all that. I'll try shortening this up. Yeah, we're putting the kink on the line. Alright, I don't remember the choke system being like this. Uh-oh. I gotta transfer all this stuff over. Well, how do you do that? This pulls off. But there's no... Does it just slide on? I guess so. Well, isn't that neat? Just trying to make sure I can get everything underneath this carburetor. I think I'm gonna have to shorten up some lines here. This one's too long. Too. Well, it stinks. I just got it on there. I need to shorten that one up. That one's a... Can I shorten up or can I pull it to the... I can't pull it to the inside because I can't grab it. Nah, I'll just shorten it. Not that hard to get it back off. It's just too long. It's putting a big hump in it. Try that. A little bit at a time, I guess. That's just a return. The carburetor again. Wrong one. Anybody see where I just said it? Yeah. Hanging off the side. I can pull some line inside the tank for that. So that's good. Now the next trick is to get this throttle linkage on here. Just a little hook and it goes in a hole on the side here. It's not that difficult. Just I probably should have done it before I got the carburetor in here, but come on. Well, I'll be darned. It was easy to get out. It's hard to grab it because it's slippery. There we go. Put it back in the hole. Yeah, this thing has the guide for the cable, so I don't think I'm gonna need any of them gaskets because I don't know. I'm gonna need this one. This one stays on the car. Yes, I will. Find that one in the bag here. Fortunately, these kits come with gaskets for multiple machines, so you gotta find yours. Find this narrow one. Yep, mine's is the narrow one with the 2 pinholes. This one don't have. The other one's got a hole here and here. This one doesn't. I'll take that. Well, there ain't no hole over here, so what's the difference? I'm just gonna slide that gasket in there, get a screw start through the carburetor, and then line everything up, I guess. Let me take that back out. There's one. Well, this should be a neat trick. Gotta get this back there on them studs behind this bracket. Yep, that should be a neat trick. The other one was stuck to the carburetor. Got that one on. I think I got them both started. Yep, gasket didn't fall. One's lined up. Doesn't feel like the other one is. Oh, there it goes. Fortunately, I don't have to put this all back together to find out, so you gotta be careful here. There's a flywheel. Get your finger in there and you'll know it. That's tight. Remember, I think this goes to a plastic housing, so don't over tighten them. Get our primer line back on here. This all ends up underneath the housing, so you can't see any of this. Oh, up with some fuel. I took it out because I took the tank off because it's easier to get the line through. This is pre-mix, so. I swear I see a little moisture in that fuel, even though it's coming right out of a can. Let me leave this open so I can make sure it's climbing through. Yeah, you see it coming through this line. That's why I left that one to clear. You see it spraying out the inside. All right, let's choke. Back. Oh, I had you too low. I apologize. I hope I didn't have you too low forever. Alright, well, we got our lines back on. We got our lines running the tank. This might be a terrible video and get no views because I think the camera dropped down. But anyway, got our 2 lines back on. Got our gasket back on, 2 screws in, choke levers on. Try not to hit my motorcycle that's next to us. Now I know I can give you this nice neat little screwdriver here. Getting after it. We're going to put the caps back on if I can get them off this one. These are half turn caps, so if I put them on here, you got a half turn either way. So we're going to try taking these caps off and putting them on these because it doesn't come with them. If I can get them off. Sometimes they won't come off. Using a pair of needles to kind of pry up on them. Got that one off. Now it's got these 2 little ear stops on it to focus. That's what hits so we can't go more than a half turn either way. So we're going to set that dead center here. So now we've got a half turn this way and a half turn this way. Yeah, let's see how it runs like that. Sounds good. Let me get the other one off too. This is the low speed. Come on. They're rough to get them off. There it goes. Same thing at this. I'm not sure how this one sits though. This one you can turn quite a bit before you hit something. Go that way. We're just going to set it 50-50. That's it. Alright, we're leaving that alone. See, we still got our filter. We don't need a primer because that's a brand new one. So, I'm sorry that the camera dropped there, but I didn't know it dropped. Unfortunately, the viewfinder is on the other side because I'm using my phone. Alright, we're going to pause for 1 second, I think, and we're going to get some covers back on. Do I need to pause it? Now, it depends on how hard the covers go back on. The muffler one's the one that's a pain in the butt because the screw, I don't know, it dropped right on. Let's see, because the screw doesn't want to come out. Take the bit off this so I can hand start them off. One. There's a, like I said, this is usually you can take this cover off. Nope, this one you gotta take the whole top off. So it's a lot of screws you gotta remove just to work on it. It is what it is. Ones that go into plastic you can't screw in as far as the ones that go into the metal. Alright, one more over on the bottom. I can't see that well. So get these all tightened up. This is two that really hold the pull start in. Because little brass inserts in these plastic ones over here so you don't squash them on the pull start. And here, even the spark plug is rough on this one because without being able to remove this cover, there's not enough wire to pull through. So even just to check the spark plug on this would be a nightmare, I would think. That screw going in, which is the hard one because I can't see it. I can't even tell if I got it in. Well, she tightens, so this screwdriver is useless. Come back and check them all. Hopefully this kit had the right filter. Trying to be careful here. Alright, let's see what it's got for filters. Got lots of spare parts. Give it 2 filters? Yeah, I don't know what this filter was supposed to do. That's where it's supposed to go, but the hole for the intake's way over here. These filters do not fit. Well, that's great. So I bought this kit because I wanted to make sure I got a new carburetor, new lines, and the filters don't fit. Here's the filter. Hey, look, here, I'll put one back on. There's the filter, and there's the intake hole right there. See a problem? It's not even covering it. Right there. Doesn't even cover it. Now we're going to have to try plan B. See if I got any filter material. I'll pause you 1 second and we'll see what we got. Alright, we cut some filter material. Got it in here. It fills the entire void. It's actually thicker than the filter that was in it. Could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. We'll find out in a second here. And move some of these tools out of the way so they don't fall. And we'll, yeah, so I can drop them on the ground. So I throw them in the toolbox and I throw them on the ground. Without this filter material, the old stuff. Well, one way to find out is to back you up here and give her a pull. There you have it. Keep rocking and rolling. Clearly, okay, long enough for me to go grab the screwdriver. Alright, we got you up on the handheld here. There she is. Already back, go back to the customer. Got, like I said, we had some filter material. We got a new filter for here, so it's got a new carburetor, new lines, and new fuel filter inside. So she's ready to get out. This guy sent it here. He didn't know if it ran or not. And like I said, I got to run. Took the carburetor apart, cleaned it, and could get to run, but it wouldn't idle. Like I said, and this piece right here, which is identical to what was in that other one, was as hard as this one. You go click, 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 click. So it was no good. It wouldn't have lasted any amount of time anyway. So hang on a second. We got you tipped there just a slight bit. There we go. So like I said, this is 326 RJ series Husqvarna. It runs good. Ready to get back in service. We had to do some this cage right here for the protector was busted from here all the way down around the bottom. So it was just basically hanging by the one screw up here on top. So we had to hot staple that back together just for safety reasons. You don't want somebody to burn themselves. So anyway, yep, we got it all back assembled. Carburetor on. There's the adjuster caps. I put them back on. That just limits the amount you can turn them. You can pull them off with a pair of those vice grips and crank them all the way in, crank them all the way out if you want to. So anyway, I know we're a little bit fuzzy here. We need to shave. Eugene's backyard repair hasn't got close enough to the razor yet, but we will by the end of the day, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, you got any information on the video, please like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. Picture parts, projects, funny videos, things, nature, drift grill, roadside finds, share videos, all kinds of cool stuff like that. Sharing some parts. I got some parts for quad outside, got some parts for a dirt bike behind me. Most of them won't make it on my YouTube because most of them won't fit in the garage. You know, that's how it is. You can't, unless you want to film outside, and sometimes that's a little rough with the heat and the sun and stuff. So, anyway, so like I said, so go sign up for both my Instagram and my Facebook. It's Eugene's Backyard Repair. One of them has an S on the end. One of them doesn't. I'm pretty sure. So you might have to type it in both ways. Go sign up for both of them. It's free. YouTube free, Instagram free, Facebook's free. It doesn't cost you nothing, no obligation when you sign up, except for you're going to get ads on some people's stuff, the bigger channels, not mine. If there's any ads on there, they better start paying because there should be no ads on mine. So like I said, sign up for both of them. It's free. Give the video a thumbs up, please. Give it a comment. Any comment helps. Hi, what's up? How you doing? Have a good day. Any of that stuff helps get my stuff out and get shared. Thumbs up helps. Thumbs down helps. You know, anything helps. Get the videos out and get them shared. I'm going to keep making them. This stuff keeps coming. I got a guy, I'm pretty sure is on his way now, is bringing down a zero turn that needs to be, have some work done on it. So I'm going to keep fixing the stuff. I'm going to keep putting out the videos I can put out when I get them in the garage. I might do a short on the XR80 changing the filter. There's nothing to it, but it needs a new filter. The other one was like the filter came out of this one. Every time you touched it, it just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It was just rotted from the ethanol fuel that somebody had probably ran in that. This one was just old fuel. It just eats the filters. Eventually, they're only styrofoam. They're only foam. So you know, eventually it ends up eating them up, and you just gotta change them out. Anyway, like I said, you know, give the video a thumbs up, comment if you would please, and we're out of here. Peace. We'll show you a lineup of, cause a lot of stuff didn't make my channel. That's his. That one's his. That one I put a head on. That one's the same, guys. I'm not sure if I did a video on either one of these, but those just got tune-ups. Spark plug filters, well, everything, you know. Just their normal tune-up stuff. So, but anyway, we get them all back to the guy, give them a good price on it all, get them all fixed, and we're out here. God bless you all. Have a great day. We're out here. Peace.